out to the Eid prayer. If they don't have a jilbab, let them borrow it. If they're menstruating, they should stay away from the place of prayer. Now, some people claim that, okay, the reason why the Prophet ﷺ said this was because at that time, the Prophet ﷺ wanted the Muslims to look like there were many of them, right? That there was a huge number of Muslims, and that's why they all came out. Ibn Hazm says, this is actually the word he uses, he says that these people are lying against the Prophet ﷺ, because the Prophet was explicit that they should go out to witness the good and the supplication, not to go out to make an army look like it was big. And secondly, he says there was no army. There was no army that was facing them. Who are you showing? And the other thing he's saying is that the only people that you're going to be showing that you're big in number is the Jews and the hypocrites of Medina, who know that these people are women anyway, right? So what's the point of this whole thing about the reason why the Prophet said this was to create an image of an army, right? They know that there's no army that you're facing anyway. Okay, so that was basically a summary of the four arguments and the counter arguments, and I hope that you can see that the counter arguments really don't have much of a basis in this religion and in the Sharia. And I hope you can see that the early practice of the companions and of the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ very much is in line with not just women not being prevented from the mosque, but also that women were being actively encouraged to come to the mosque, and that women's prayer in the mosque was seen as an essential and important part of the community's activities. And that's why it is important, in my opinion, that women do make an effort. And those women, I consider, those women who do make an effort to go to the prayers, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, they are not only getting the reward of these prayers, but they're also getting the reward of reviving a sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So really, these women who do this, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3, even if they feel discouraged by other people, anybody who revives this sunnah, any woman and any man who helps this is, in my opinion, doing a great service of Islam and reviving Islam. And in fact, I think that if women are not in the mosque, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be losing our next generations. Because the mosque is the seat of reform. And the mosque is where you're making the connection with Allah. And the mosque is where much knowledge is given. And if women are disconnected from all of that, then that's going to definitely have an impact on the... Yes, Sheikh Abdul Alim.
I'm not sure if you want to touch on it.
Yes.
One of the arguments that they always give.
Yeah.
Is
Time of fitna, yeah.
women going
Yeah. Naam, Jazakallah khair. So, the time of fitna, right? What they, of course in the Sharia, sometimes if there's a necessity, for a temporary reason, you can have a temporary change of ruling. For example, if you're dying in a desert, the common example, you're allowed to do certain things temporarily and as much as you need so that you can get out of that situation. What it can never become is a permanent solution. Number 2 point. I was going to kind of deal with it. Number 2 point. To be absolutely honest with you, right? The mosque isn't a place of fitna. Right? The mosque is a place of tazkiyah, and the mosque is a place of dhikrullah. In fact, we could even argue today that the greatest fitnas now are not outside of the home, but they're inside of the home. The TV and the internet now have brought what was outside inside. If you just keep women at home doing nothing, what they're going to do? They're going to watch dramas. They're going to watch. Sorry? Yeah. They're going to do. And the fitna is now on TV. And now we're talking about increased rates of divorce. People are taking their value systems from. Yes, right, from other sources, from romantic visions of what life is supposed to be like. And then we complain. And the reason is because everybody's stuck at home and the only entertainment they've got is the TV. So this fitna argument actually works against them. If there's a fitna, if they're worried about fitna, then they should be honest and they should go the full whack, and they should stop women from going to the marketplaces. And they should stop women from going to everywhere else. But they will never do that because it will be too hard for them, right? Right? And the second thing is, if this fitna argument is really the argument, which it shouldn't be, and it really can't be, then really it should be used properly, and women should now be encouraged to go to the mosque so that the fitna of the home is no longer there. Yeah? So that's what I would say about the fitna argument. Yes?
First of all, she very not because it's there,
Okay.
but in our home, we were groomed and we were taught that women, the prayer home will have more rewards than when you go to the mosque. Could you expound more on a bit of that?
Women have more reward at home.
Rather than going to the mosque.
Huh? Okay, so women have more reward at home.
Because now we're saying that
Women have more reward.
when you go to the mosque is better for them.
Yes.
Could you
Yes.
expound a bit more on that aspect?
Yeah, sure. So, firstly, Akhi, anything in the Sharia needs a basis to make any claim, right? And this is why it's important to separate what you might have been taught in your society from what the Quran and the authentic Sunnah are saying. So my question to you and to them, will be, what is the basis for you saying that? Is it supported anywhere in the Quran? The Quran says to Maryam, pray with those who are praying in the mosque, basically. The Prophet ﷺ, at his time, all the women are going to the mosque. The best of women want to have less reward. Does it make sense? Thirdly, those hadiths that suggest that women's prayer is better at home, if that is the basis of those arguments that those people use, then those hadiths are not strong. Those hadiths are either fabricated or weak. Yeah? So there is no basis for that position. The whole body of the sunnah that we've just looked at, the whole edifice of this argument that I've just presented, clearly demonstrates that the evidence lies in favor of women's going to the mosque is better. Yeah? So that's what I would say. Now, okay, bid'ah, you know what bid'ah is, right? The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man ahdatha fi amrina hadha ma laysa minhu, fahuwa raddun." Whoever introduces something into this religion of ours, which is not from it, is rejected. Yeah? And this is to prevent women from going to the mosque and to claim it's from the religion is an instance of this. It's an instance of innovation in the religion, right? Because of everything that we've said, right? And bid'ah actually implies that you're dissatisfied with the guidance of Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It also suggests and implies that the deen needs you to come along and improve it somehow, right? And to modify it somehow, because something, it just needs to be, it's no longer relevant. And the kind of expressions that are sometimes used to express this sentiment are the following: times have changed, or now there's fitna, yeah? Or number two, people don't like to do that really. Women don't like to go to the mosque, so, they don't need really a space, Or it's no longer practical to expect people to do this type of stuff, right? But this really, these Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So, we need to, the deen doesn't need people's improvement. If women, don't like going to the mosque, it's because there's been a certain culture. And we need to teach women to come to the mosque. And like I said, it is really important in my mind that women do make that effort. And I really believe it's one of the greatest rewards now for women to go to the mosque actively. And it's your minor hijrah. It really is a minor migration to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Departures from the sunnah in the early period always faced strong opposition. What happened later on, things reversed, and those voices were marginalized. And what was the Islamic norm now became unknown. And what was unknown and what was wrong now becomes the Islamic norm. Because those voices of opposition to what is wrong, what is bid'ah, what is against the sunnah, faded. And so we need to revive this. And this is why it's good that we're speaking about this. And you guys should go and speak about this, because these points should never be marginalized. There was always strong opposition to innovation in our religion. And like I say here, it's a duty of everybody to resist any reversal of Islamic norms. It's a duty of everybody in this room, not just me, not just the organizers of this program. Everybody in this room has a duty to oppose these. Can I finish and then we'll take? Yeah, can I finish? I just want to finish. Benefits of attending the mosque. So I think there's a lot of benefits. I would have asked you to kind of come up with some of these, but when you leave your busy schedule to go to the mosque, it's a mini hijrah. It's a mini migration. You're leaving the world, you're leaving your occupation, you're leaving your concerns, and you're trusting in Allah, and you're going to the mosque. And it results in a shift of perspective, a psychological shift, right? And you come out feeling closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's one benefit. Number two, there's a hadith which says that every step that a person takes, men and women, to the mosque, they get a reward for it, a sin taken off, and they're raised a degree for every step. Just imagine that. Every step that you take to the mosque, and you may take 200-300 steps. Every step you're gaining a reward, you're raised a degree in Allah's sight, and your one sin is removed. So that's another benefit of attending the mosque. Number two, even for your prayer, this little journey has a profound impact on your quality of your prayer. And it's the quality of your prayer that's going to bring you success in the next life. Allah says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Indeed, the mu'minun have become successful. What's the first quality? الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Those who have humility in their prayer. Those who have focus in their prayer. So this is the first quality. So if any